What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy Kinsey Jr., the Impact Builder, coming to you for another episode of the brand new development series brought to you by J&F Enterprises in partnership conjunction with the Black Professional Men whose mission and purpose is to ensure the future of the African American male. And we do that by bringing you just some topics and some issues that we deal with as Black men and dealing with our professional lives, but also being our personal lives, but also entrepreneurship specifically. So that's what we do here on the Brain Development Series. And today is going to be no different than any other. You see, he got the Black Lives Matter shirt on. I got my I am a Christian business owner shirt on. That's what it's all about. It's about being entrepreneurs, and it's about this journey that we're on. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this entrepreneurship journey. And we got some good stuff that we're going to talk about. So I won't get the particulars over so we can get into this one conversation that I know we talked about just before we came on here. So I'm going to allow this brother to introduce himself, and then we're going to get into a little bit about him. And then we're going to get into this topic that we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and family legacy. I'll label it that because I think that that's going to be key to what we're talking about today, and having people that are having entrepreneurs understand this journey that we're on and how it impacts us, how it impacts our family, and everybody that's around us. So. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce him. I'm gonna introduce his name, but I'm gonna let him tell you all a little bit about who he is and what he does. And this is brother Michael Norton, right here, brother that I haven't met. Has it been a month yet, Mike? I don't know. Is it been? It's been
No,
about.
we haven't even hit on a month, man. But
Oh,
we've been politicking, man. The
that's
vibe,
real quick.
our energy has been real good.
Yeah, it seems like we've known each other for years, though. Too. That's how it comes off to me. But I'm so appreciative of this brother, and he is definitely one of those brothers that is out here, that is doing his thing, that is on his grind, always about his family, all about the community, all about doing those things that we as entrepreneurs do. So I'm going to introduce him and let him introduce himself. Brother Michael Norton, thank you for joining me on the brand new development series. I appreciate you. So, why don't you tell people just a little bit about who you are, if you
Again, I'm Mike Norton III. I'm an entrepreneur here in the Baltimore, Maryland region, and our company I represent is Madison Snacks. We are independent distributors and route sales, and we pretty much have our own candy and snack company, man. And right now we're doing a lot of great things, man. We're closing the year out on a good note. I told myself I wanted to pick up 5 new accounts. We
can.
picked up 3. I got 2 more to get. So we have about 95% of our goals completed for 2022, and we got new ones coming up for 2023, man. But most importantly, I start every interview off by thanking all my family and all my friends. Every social media outlet, I could not, again, have gotten this far if it wasn't for you and everybody that always believed in me. Thank you. I love you. I do it for the city. Most importantly, man, I do it for the entrepreneurs, man. I show you all how I fell down, I struggled, I got back up. I fell down, I struggled, I got back up. And I'm just here to educate you and be informative about what the lifestyle of an entrepreneur is, man. So, but thank you again, man, for everybody who believing in me. And I'm here to just chop it up and have a good conversation, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I like to call them conversations um, because it's not interviews. These are conversations that we have to make. My purpose and mission is to make people better. I want to make people better by the end of the year than they were at the beginning of the year. And I love the fact that you said you're like 95% there and you're trying to finish this year strong. We don't get those 2 accounts, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, yeah,
People,
I'm shooting for it. I'm shooting. I'm working.
man. So,
My goals are very important.
mhm.
If you achieve it, if you put it on a piece of paper, you see it, you achieve it, and you go out there and you shoot for the excellence no matter how hard the road gets, man. And for us to get these two more accounts would really put me over the top so we can start working on the new goals for 2023.
And before we leave out, I'm gonna have you talk about what you look for in a client, to be able to take on
Okay.
to get those two accounts, so that people can know, hey, this is what he's looking for, and they can connect with you to let you know, hey, here's uh, two potential clients that you can have, and get, or that you can reach out to be able to do and everything like that. So much appreciated there. I want to start, if we can. I want to just start our conversation off with just asking you this question, and what got you started on your entrepreneurship journey. When was it that you thought about saying, you know what, that regular 9 to 5 in me, that regular, I want to have something that I call my own, or that I'm working, that I have, that's mine, that I own, and that my name is on.
It started. It started in the back of Giant Food at the age of 16,
Okay.
watching guys do things through snacks and food independently.
Okay.
And guys telling me how they started at 18 and 21, and I would see their name on the side of a truck or a van and wonder, man, I'm their age. How is he doing that? How they do it, how they do it. I'm working in the supermarket. I'm working 7 days a week. The money is good. I'm making all these connections. And I always told myself if the money was ever there, I was going to jump ship and do it. Fast forward, I got to be 23. I'm a sales rep for Pepsi and working at FedEx. And FedEx presented the independent opportunity.
Okay.
I, I brought it to my father. He thought I wasn't quite ready yet. Um, but I was always pursuing entrepreneurship because I did not like what went on in corporate America and how employees were treated. I'm that guy that would have to be to work between 2:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
I made all the connections, the relationships. I did all the marketing, the promotion, everything they wanted me to do, but I never got promoted.
Mm.
They kept
Mm.
me stagnated. Now the money's good. I'm living fine. I got my vacation, but you always want more for yourself. And me coming from a background of my grandfather being Mike Norton Sr. and my dad being Junior, I knew how the entrepreneurship world operate. So about 33, maybe 30, I had to be about 33. I got my first opportunity on my bread route independently. Smith Baking Company went independent. Um, and I had one of the worst routes in Washington, D.C. And there was a rumor the company was being sold. There was a rumor if your route was in DC, you were going independent. So I got that letter in the mail. I made the phone call and told them, yeah, you know what? Take all the benefits. I'm getting more pay. Um, my credit went through. They approved everything I did. I signed off. And when I got a taste of being independent, I never looked back. The freedom that I have, I loved it. I was at work and I was almost being controlled and told what to do, and I'm making other companies money, but I'm not reaping the benefits of it. See, when you gotta get up at 2:30 in the morning to be to work at 4 o'clock, the money has to match the work. And in my
Mm.
line of work, you hear guys saying, well, I got the number one route. Well, the supervisor's making money, the sales rep is making money, but you're not even getting a third of what they're making, but you're doing all the work and sacrificing all the family time. Overtime is good, 9 to 5s are good, but I'm just a guy that wanted more. And the only way I could seek more was to go be independent.
Yeah, and I think that's actually the way that we as entrepreneurs understand ourselves, and I think that's what makes entrepreneurs.
I hate to interrupt you. I'll give you an example. You got a supervisor making $100,000 a year. I'm writing this down. The
Mhm.
sales rep is right behind them, about 88 with a bonus. Now, both of them are getting a bonus. Now, you're the driver, merchandiser, sales rep doing all that, and you're only cracking on a good year, maybe 64, 60. No, I need to be right up there with everybody making that same amount of money and enjoying the perks that you all enjoy. I love playing golf.
Right.
I do. And because I'm independent now, Madison Snacks can hold its own golf course. Me and my dad, we have our own golf tournament.
Really?
Yeah, down at Carroll Park, and we bring in our people. Um, and corporations will bribe you. Oh, here's tickets to King's Dominion and
Yeah.
Oriole ball games, but that doesn't supplement the time and money.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, because I definitely got to talk to you about the golf thing because that's one of the topics that I'm
Well,
networking and golf and how
well,
that
let
deals
me
with
let me
entrepreneurs.
and I'm gonna interrupt you again. Golf is a beautiful outlet for me at 42.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing it with my dad. I'm playing it with his friends. We have cigars, and after we play 9 to 18 holes, man, we sit around and we network in politics. So it's a beautiful thing, man. As soon as the weather breaks, man, I'm encouraging everybody to come on out and play with us.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And it's funny you say that because um years ago with my ex, she used to tell me you need to go to, learn to network, play golf. I'm like, I don't play golf. That's not what I do. Like, you know what, she's like, understand, that's what that's where deals are made. So
Every
last
every deal is made on the golf course with a cigar.
yeah. And so, not even last year, this was last year, I was introduced to a gentleman named Mr. Al, and he's a golf instructor, a
Mhm.
Hall of Fame golf instructor. He went to Morgan, but he's Hall of Fame
Correct.
in Morgan, and so he was writing a book, and I was introduced to him because he was writing a book. So he works right at the golf course right out here in this Owens Mills Pikes. I forgot the name of the golf course. It's right out here in Owens Mills,
Hmm.
in the area. So went out, met with him, at the golf course. He's like, come on, come on out, you can sit, talk, and everything like that. So I went out several times with him, and I'm sitting there on the putt on the green, doing the putting, and I lie to you not, man. It was such a great atmosphere to be in. And we would talk about what he was doing for, writing the book, because his book is about intertwining golf with and life, and how
Hmm.
talk about his life and his history. But as we're out there, we're playing, I'm getting into the golf. I'm getting into the putting and stuff, and we're talking about how golf relates to life and the skill sets that you need and all of that. And I'm just like, all I'm thinking about is is what my ex-girlfriend used to tell me. You need to learn how to play golf. And he was talking to me about tournaments, and he was saying how, how you can, how they have where you can sponsor a hole at certain tournaments and stuff like that, and all kinds of networking things that you can do with golf, in golf. So I was just like, daggone it, she was right when she was talking about it and saying that, hey, that you do need to be able to understand how to network through golf and on the green and everything like that, because there are
Well,
a lot of deals
and
made.
I not only that, not only will you know how to network, you meet some of the most interesting people.
Hmm. Hmm.
And one thing I like about golf as it pertains to business, it's you against the course, and in business, it's you against your business every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they go hand in hand.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. So those are the kinds of things that me and Mr. Al were able to talk about being on the golf course and those kinds of things. And like I said, just the whole atmosphere, because it's quiet, it's very, it's serene, all of those things, man, that you don't have. A lot of us don't get exposed to that type of environment. She a hustle, it might be the hustle and bustle. So when we're able to do those kinds of things, and how calming it is, and just how you're able to do those kinds of deals on the golf course and everything like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I definitely want to talk to you about that. But I want to ask you, what got you into, and I guess you talked a little bit about it, into the vending, the snack vending industry, and
Well, No problem. Well, what we don't actually have vending machines. You find our products on a rack or in a aisle
Oh,
in a
okay,
corner
okay,
store or a gas station.
gotcha.
I never got into the vending side of things because I learned that what happens when you have a contract and then that building says we don't want you here.
Right,
With a
right.
with a vending machine, you gotta have a lot of them to be profitable. Like I said before in the last interview, if you have two or three, it's a part-time job. To actually, you're paying over $500 for a machine, and you gotta have about 50 of them to really see a day-to-day profit.
Okay, okay, okay,
For
okay.
us, we have racks. And if you go into your supermarket, you can find me down the aisle in the candy aisle where I'm going up against the M&Ms, the Werthers, and all the other big corporations.
Okay, no, no, okay. So, and then I guess that well, there is that difference in that, and I like that. I like that you gave that distinction about what it takes to do
And
the difference between one and both of them, or what it takes to be able to do
right now,
both.
now,
Yeah.
now, now, with the vending machine, you have to remember when they break down, you're paying an electrician.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The customer complaints are irate and they're up to here. Now, with me being on racks and in the aisle,
Yeah.
if a bag gets ripped or stolen, I can easily replace it and I'm
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's not a whole lot of headache with it. What made us what makes me good at what I do, I learned all of this from corporate America. And now I've applied their knowledge as well as mine. And, that's why we're taking off the way we are. So when you open up a door to a corner store or a gas station, positioning is key. I'm
Mm-hmm.
right up front where everybody can see me.
Okay. Okay.
The bags are colorful. Our name is on them. Most importantly, in our Arabic communities, we have the halal stamp on them.
Really? Okay. Okay.
The
Okay.
candy has no pork in it, and that's what makes us, I think, better than a lot of these big time corporations. What I'm, what I have noticed right now, we're beating everybody on price point, positioning, and we're doing a lot of volume.
Really? Okay. 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 I mean, and that that's a particular strategy too. We'll get into that a little bit as well, but some some steps to be able um to be able to start, a business like this, but then also how to be able to have that and create that sustainability, and like you all are doing, and the strategies that go into that. Now, tell me, when it comes to your entrepreneurship experience, right? Um, how what has been your experience with getting entrepreneurs to understand the importance of having a legacy building mindset when it comes to their business? And this will go into what we were talking about before we came on here, wanting to discuss um, Percy Miller and his son, Romeo Miller.
Three steps. You have to sacrifice, number one. You have to have knowledge of what you're doing, and you have to remember that the goal is bigger than you.
Mm, mm,
That is my three keys to being good at what you do.
mm,
Now, I'm going to start with the sacrifice comment. We spent our last $30,000, my dad and I, and put it all into the business, right?
mm,
I go pick up our load of candy. I'm coming back down to Baltimore. The truck breaks down. I'm like, wow, what do I do? I slept in it overnight. I had one eye open, hoping nobody was coming after me. I was ashamed to even pick up the phone and call them. I mean, so much was going wrong.
okay.
But I said, you know what? I'm going to hang in there because we're going to make it. Luckily, the car started up that morning. My mom, everybody came and got me. We lost a little business, but even in my darkest moment, I sacrificed and I still saw the biggest picture. And that's why I'm able to come on your podcast and do speaking engagements, because I believe failure can lead to success. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh, the knowledge. I've been doing this all my life. It started from Giant Food to Pepsi, Coca-Cola, FedEx. I've been around great people. I've studied this. I've gone on route rides. I know the potential of being in a 7 day a week business. So I'm knowledgeable about what I'm doing. Most importantly, I know how to communicate to the people I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
to get the brand or get the pickups or the deliveries done. Uh, my third key was being bigger than you. You're not working for a paycheck. You're not working for the benefits. You're building wealth. I do this every day to not only show people, but most importantly, show myself that I can do it, to make my parents and daughter happy. And this lifestyle is just something I love to do. You know, I thought I was going to miss the meeting. I'm a little late because we just got off from work. We had a crazy weekend of working, but at the end of the day, like I told you, I would have it no other way.
Yeah, absolutely. I want you to let's talk a little bit, and I guess you were saying with the 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 legacy building, and you brought up something to me before we came on, and you were talking about and I don't know how many people are familiar with Percy Miller, aka Master P, and his son Romeo Miller, and there was something in in the, I guess, on YouTube or whatever and everything like that about this gruntledness that Romeo was having, or problem he was having with his father. And for those that aren't familiar with Master P, he is a self-made entrepreneur. He is someone who has done some great work in the community, for the community, about the community. Um, got it from as they say, got it from the mud. You know what I'm saying? And has worked for everything that he's gotten, and is a multi millionaire for all intents and purposes. But um, he was able to provide a lifestyle for his children, because he has more than just a son. I think he had a son and a daughter. I don't know if he had, how many kids he has, but and I know you wanted to talk about it, this entrepreneurship perspective on the issue that he had. So, so let's get into that, and how important is it, because him and I guess Master P and his son are similar, or you tell me if you think it's similar to you and your dad starting in the business together, working in business together, and doing this day to day thing together. So I want to get your take on that.
Well, it hit home for me. You know, my dad is my best friend.
Mm.
He's my father first, my best friend, and then my business partner. And as a son, I came up in a different era. I would never throw my father underneath the bus like he did. If you pick up Master P's book, he told you when he made all that money, he knew nothing about the IRS.
Right, right.
And that's when they came after him. Although he settled that bill, that does not allow all for him, his son, to say what he had to say.
Mhm.
All the doors P had to kick in and kick down.
Right.
You know, and I understand that. I'm third generation entrepreneur. I remember when my grandfather had the paint truck and my dad had the insurance business, and now me with, you don't understand. We got to kick down doors every day. There's a corporate giant out there that's saying, why go with him when you got me? But here we are, not so much the little guys, but saying, look, we can do this job, but we can do it 10 times better and give you the quality you want. And most importantly, you can reach out and touch me because I'm independent. But getting back to that, number one, you never let family business out of the circle. You know, that to me, the young man is being very ungrateful, because look at what his dad had to sacrifice to get where he had to get. my father right now could be playing golf every day and traveling every day, but he decided not only just him, but the rest of my family to put all their money into me. So I can't be ungrateful, no matter how mad they get. So
Yeah.
I've been down that road, and not to put anything personal out there, but you know, these are what this is what happens when you go into business, and a lot of people don't get it. They you can never have enough backup money, but still, your legacy is important and your character, and he showed poor judgment and character in talking about his family today,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah, and then that's the sad thing that, you know, what what Master P has built, and it took him years to build and do what he did, and do what he's doing, do what he's done. And he has looked out not for just his family. He's looked out for others that he probably, some people that in his circle that he considers to be family. But to have a son who doesn't understand that legacy, and doesn't understand, like you said, which is a big thing, the sacrifice that
Mhm.
came with getting him to where he is. You, they understand Romeo. He doesn't have anything without Master P doing what he did.
Correct.
You know, and we talk about how um how there that generation has an entitlement
Hmm.
mentality. Well, you're supposed to do this. And I never forget, my dad said this to me years ago, man. He was a phys ed teacher, football coach, basketball coach, track coach, here in Baltimore City schools. And my ninth grade year, I played JV basketball for him. He was the coach. So I got to go out. Everybody has to go out for the team and everything like that. And I remember him. I'm going out for the team. It was me and this other kid that was going out for the point guard position, right? So we go out. And he starts the young boy over me. Now I was better than the young boy, but he started him over me, right? So we start the season, and about, I think, game or two in, um, not the first game. It was like maybe the second, third game, I should say. He starts me. So I asked him, sometime later, because Pops said back in the day, you didn't question what they did, you didn't ask them what they did, all that. But I asked him, I said, well, why didn't you start me from the beginning of the season? Instead of, now we're starting. And he said to me, he said, I knew that you were better than than the other guy. He said, but I wanted you to know that you were better. One, he said, and then two, I wanted the other guys that were playing with you to know that you were better than him. And that just because I'm your father doesn't mean that I'm going to just give you anything. Just because you're my son doesn't mean that you were entitled to just start and to just be there. And I've always taken that with me. That he said, nobody owes you anything. You have to work, you have to earn everything that you get. And sometimes I think that's what is missing, because we've become successful, as Black people, the Black community, and generations haven't had to work as hard as our grandfathers or our fathers, and that, from that perspective, they worked hard to set and sacrifice so that
One
we could have more.
one
So
one thing that I love about my dad, and I mean I really love it about him, he made me understand things at a young age.
mm,
He put that go getter mentality in my
mm,
mind.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And the only way that he would ever help me is if I went out and showed that I was capable of doing it. And you gotta love that era of men.
yeah, yeah, you
You
really
got you gotta love that. That is my father's way of showing love. And my
Mm.
father is a great guy, man. And I put him on a pedestal every day because we could not, him and I could have not gotten to this point if it wasn't for him sacrificing and telling me this is what you're going to have to do. If I know daddy is in it with me 100%, man, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, dad, I'm all in. And and that's a bond, and that's a bond that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, it really is. It truly
You
is.
know, I'm 42 and I'm going to keep the legacy going. I had a great grandfather. I have the best dad in the world. And you know, these are things that I thrive off of, and that I take all that into my business world. You know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because those life lessons that we get translate into, especially us as entrepreneurs. It transfers to us in being entrepreneurs and what we do now. You know, those cut that grit that you know you got to work hard. You're gonna have to earn it. That, like you said, doing those things that we know that everybody else doesn't do, isn't willing
Mhm.
to do. And that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. You're willing to do some of the things that other people aren't willing to do.
And
You
let's
know.
be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with a great education
Mm-hmm.
and going to school, but a lot of people are not going to give up a 9 to 5 that pays them well, gives them 8 weeks vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just not going to give it up to pursue a dream.
Right.
And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
Right. Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. But in hindsight, 2020, don't complain about the African American community and why we don't have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, you know, somebody has to do it if it's not going to be you.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the reasons I latched on and we work together so good, man. We understand one another.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's that entrepreneurial mindset. You've had it since you were young. I've had it since I was young, and that's been instilled in me. And even when it came to corporate America, bro, it's just like you don't fit. You don't fit in.
No, I didn't. Corporate. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm looking to get promoted from Pepsi. They send
Mhm.
me these classes and all this training. I get to the last interview, and I mean, you went on like 10 of them in one day, and I didn't get it. And I'm like, well, they hired a guy outside of the company,
Okay.
and I'm like, well, why did you have me do all of this to not get in? The hurt that I took home,
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I got to do it myself, man. I mean, for those that can hang in there, I love you, man. Thank you, but I'm in my lane right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. And see, that was the drive and the passion that you have for, like, and you said it. You wanted more. You wanted more. And a lot of time that's usually the difference between entrepreneurs and those that want to have the 9 to 5s. And like you said, there's nothing wrong with that, but you wanted more. And that's what entrepreneurs do. We want more because we're willing to step out on that ledge, take that risk, have the uncertainty, risk, have it fall, pick ourselves back, have to pick ourselves back up, be totally and make something. Look at it. I challenge anyone that's watching this, that's listening to this. Take a look at the stories of some of the wealthiest or most successful entrepreneurs. I promise you, any entrepreneur that you look at, I promise you this. But I certainly promise you that there is not one of them that did not fail. Failure is a part of that process. Failure is a part of that becoming successful. Because if you don't fail at it, one, you're not you really won't learn as much. And I truly believe that you learn more about yourself in your failures than you do in your successes, because you got to figure this out. You got to say, hey, I got to do. There's nothing else. I don't have any other option. this is this is my only option that I feel like I have, and I'm going to make it work. I'm going to do everything that I have to do in order to be able to make it work. And
Well, one thing about failure, it brings out character.
yeah, absolutely, it reveals your character.
And I signed up for the lifestyle. So I'm down here in the office right now and I got paperwork spread all out and everything. And, it's time to go back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm,
But,
mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, not only do you find out who you are, there's a sense of pride. You
Yep,
say, I did this.
yep.
I did this when my old lady told me I couldn't do it. And when my friends left me, when the dog walked out on me, when everybody around me left me,
Yep, yep,
I found out who I really became.
yep.
And I want to go back to the word sacrifice. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, then don't become an entrepreneur. I'm be real with you.
No, that's real.
If you don't want to be uncomfortable and you have to have a 5-star meal on the weekend and you got to go to the Bahamas every other year and couples trips, it may not be for you. And that doesn't make you a bad individual. But the vision I have for Madison Snacks, and I'll probably change the name to Norton Enterprises, is, I'm bigger than just a independent route delivery guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get into the schools and hopefully teach it one day. And I'm looking to be a public figure, but when I have devotion, I ask Christ to lead me. I only want to
Mm.
do it in the eyes of Christ. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it for the fame or for the money, but most importantly, I just want to do it for the little girl that I have that's 4 years old, so she can be proud of me.
Yeah, yeah. That's it right there. That's it right there. And I tell folks, I said, don't you don't chase the money, chase the impact, and that's impact right there. That you have. Okay. I gotta ask you this. I want you. Can you tell us a little bit about the company? Tell us a little bit about Madison Snacks, and the products and services that you do offer.
So who we have a distribution deal with Marlowe Candy and Nut Company. The Baltimore region was terrible. It turned itself over 2 to 3 times. They could not find a buyer for the region.
Okay.
The customer service was terrible. The product was not up to par. The service was, I mean, we were getting blown out by everybody. So, like I told you, maybe I didn't mention it, but I believe in finding a business with a problem.
Mm-hmm.
What could have
Okay.
been $100,000 territory we purchased, we only got it for 30 grand.
Really? Okay. Okay.
But now we got it up to over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we lost a lot of territory, a lot of customers. My father said the competition is heavy, but they'll eventually fall off if we do what we have to do and show people that we can control Baltimore.
Correct.
Because people from Philadelphia and New Jersey shouldn't be coming down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we kind of got like a no-fly zone right now because we got it under control. But in the earlier stages, no, we lost a lot of people. I can recall in one day maybe losing 10 to 20 people.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So went back to the lab. We got our act together. The distributor got their act together. Now, I tell you right now, for anybody in the Hamilton Bel Air Road area, you can find us in Harvest Fair in aisle number 6. Look for the yellow and orange bag that has Marlowe candy on it. Over 180 active corner stores and gas stations. You can find us in Crown, everywhere from East Baltimore, West Baltimore to South Baltimore to Baltimore County. You can find us anywhere.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that. I like that.
Um, one of the goals that we wanted to accomplish was to get into the supermarket.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The challenge, I knew how strong I was in the corner store, but I wanted to see if I could go up against the name brand people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I said, the M&Ms and the Werthers and the Twizzlers. Not only have we beat everybody on price point, we beat them on customer service. We beat them in positioning, basically living up to our word independently. So when people don't have to call a 1-800 number, they call us. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's no problem with the billing cycle. I print everything up. We invested in our own printer. We have an app with all our customers on it. We've taken everything and put it all into us, man.
Well, absolutely, and that's how you, to me, how you effectively grow the business and how you scale the business, because as you begin to make more money, like you said, when you invest back into the business, then you're able to grow and do more things, especially if you're putting back into, like you said, making sure that you have the technology that you need, making sure that you are able to upgrade your customer service, which seemed to have been an issue with the other companies that were around there. And that makes a difference, because trust and believe, the clients that you have, they're noticing that. They notice, man,
Mhm.
Anderson Snacks
And
got their act together. You know what I'm saying?
not only that, we did a capstone project with Towson State University
Okay.
in the early going. You can find us in UMBC in Towson. We were doing great business with Baltimore City Community College.
Hmm.
They decide not to go. It's hurtful that they did not want to come with me. That's one account that I did not want to lose, and it hurt me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I,
Mhm.
I you know, I guess you're wondering, well, how do you get the business? Would be the next question. I take one day and I solicit. I get business casual and I go out here and I talk to all the corporate giants.
Mhm.
I let them. I bring them my product. I let them sample it. I hand it out to everybody in the community, in the store. I show them our price point. And that Baltimore City contract, really, that's the one that hurt the most, that I wanted to get back. I mean, I did so good in there weekly,
Mhm.
but it was the other vendors that messed it up for me,
Well, mhm.
which
Mhm.
chose them to go in a different direction.
Yeah, yeah, and that's unfortunate that those, that kind of an account, you know, got lost because of what someone else did. It wasn't necessarily what you had done and everything like that. So, those are the pitfalls that we get of being an
Yeah,
entrepreneur, and having to fight and scratch and
and
thinking that you got
and
an account. Mhm.
and also a lot of people would look at me like, "Who's this young black man with his own company?"
Mhm. Mhm.
Or,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, when I asked Baltimore City, I said, "Look, we're in your system. Pull it up." They knew I did great business. They knew I came every day. They knew they had my phone number. I mean, when students wanted special requests for candy, I would bring it. So I don't know, man. It got real political, and I didn't have time to go back and forth. But our numbers and the volume we did spoke for ourselves. I felt that's one loss I took very personal. I
Yeah.
will tell you that.
No, I hear that. Now, what type of snacks do you have? Do you have? Is it chips? You
No,
mentioned.
we are in the candy business, man.
Okay.
We specialize in all the gummy bears, gummy worms, pistachios, pumpkin seeds. We have the hot flavor Mexican chip Takis that the children eat all year round. So we have all that variety of your healthy nuts, your salty nuts, your candy, your caramel, your kettle popcorn, and we keep everything at a 99-cent price point to $1.99.
Okay. 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 Good. 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 That's what I'm hearing. Now, what advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur about gaining the tools that you've gotten? in being in business for these, for these with your father, and the use of technology in order to move you further into this 21st century and moving forward?
My advice to every young entrepreneur out there or that's willing to get in the game, I think they need to come talk to guys like you and me first, man, before you even enter. Because it's one thing when you get off work and you're aggravated and mad and you say, I'm gonna do this and do that. But that sounds good, but you need to talk to somebody. And I think, with your group and my knowledge and the knowledge of my father, any entrepreneur, I think y'all need to reach out to me, man, by a phone or Facebook, man, so I can sit down and explain to you what you're getting ready to get into and what you're getting ready to sacrifice and possibly lose.
Yeah, because it comes at a cost, and
Yeah,
anybody that doesn't understand that there is a cost
you
to
can
entrepreneurship.
you can print out all the flyers you want and you can buy the flyers building and you can put your name on t-shirts, duct tape, pencils, but if there's not a demand for it and you don't know how to market it, you're in a world of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Now we're ending 2022 because we only got 13 days, 12 days left in 2022, and we're getting ready to go into 2023. So what's next for for you all going into 2023? I know you mentioned about ending the year strong with the two with the two clients that you want to go to grab going into 2023. But what else is on the agenda for Madison Snacks in 2023 and you?
um, well, again, everything I do is bigger than me. For the company, 7-Eleven went independent, and
Okay.
I would like to work on 7-Eleven if I could pull off 10 of them, because
Mhm.
a lot of people are connected. So when I sell to one, it's like selling to 10 other people.
Yeah,
They'll say,
absolutely.
now how am I getting people now? Phone calls, not to brag, but phone calls just come in word of mouth. So, and my grandfather said, when you do good business, everybody wants to be with you. So,
Yep.
um, to attack them, I'm still trying to figure out how to get into the Pop Warner system with the football and basketball programs, because I believe if I can keep everybody from going to Costco, we can do much better.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Having them go to Costco before the game and, I got to run around and get this and get that. And when you can call me and I got everything right there,
Right
would
there.
be a big help to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a great concept, and that's a great deal because you would save those directors a lot, and the coaches, because I don't know how much
Mhm.
the coaches run around, but when they have that, um
If you buy the popcorn and the candy in bulk from me, you'll be ready Saturday morning, as opposed to your game is at 9, you got to be there at 6, then you got to come home, pick everybody up, get in the car, run here, run there, get to the game when all you got to do is call me.
yeah, yeah, and that's a great um that's a great concept because that you have those leagues all over the country.
Mhm.
That's not just that's not just right. I mean, that's not just that's not just that's not just right. That's not just here in Baltimore. But you're talking with those that can be in their different areas because there's those football leagues everywhere,
Right.
and everything like that. So
We definitely want to expand to the PG County area. We
yeah.
have not attacked that area yet.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Um, so to attack the 7-Eleven, the PG County area, and I'm still looking now to do more diversity things in the Latino American community. I would love some of the independent supermarkets as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I mean
And
that's mm-hmm.
and hopefully one day one of these high schools will hear what I'm talking and preaching and want to get me in the classroom full time to help the next generation become develop entrepreneurs. Like I told you before, you can't teach pride through a textbook. But I met a lot of interesting children, man, and I think if these kids had that program, not only would it save their life, but it'll just give them that goal and it'll light that fire and say, okay, you know what? Let me hurry up and get out of school, start my dream the right way.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of good things in the making, man, and I believe we're gonna get there one day. But we got to stay at it, and I gotta stay prayed up, and I gotta be with you on my day and everybody. But we're gonna make it, man.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. It's about, like we said, having a vision, writing the plan, and then working that plan. And I say, see it, write it, work it. You got to see it first. You got to write it down so that you know how you're going to what it is that you need to do, and then you got to work it. You got to implement it. Just like in football, they every single week those NFL teams they sit down and the coaches come up with they see a vision for the game plan. They create the game plan, and then they have to implement that game plan on Sunday. They have to give it to the players to be able to implement that game plan on Sunday. They got to work at it because they got to put in the
Correct.
time to understand it, know it, and then they got to implement it on Sunday so that
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
execute it. So that's what it's all about. Now, I want you to tell how can people contact you first of all if they want to, like we talked about, get those two clients that we want to contact you to be able to connect with you, to be able to get on your list to be one of your clients. How can folks do that?
Well, if anybody's watching tonight, the best way to contact me, man, is very early in the morning, and I'm gonna throw my phone number out here: 443-991-1216. I respond better to a phone and a text message because it's always on me because of work. And I put that out to the brothers of greatness and the group that you're in, man. Anybody ever need me for a speaking engagement or just want to chop it up with me or found what we said interesting tonight, man, I can elaborate on it more. I'm very easy to get to, man. But most importantly, I surround myself with good people, man, and I'm a phone call away from whatever you really need, man. I'm not that high up on a level that you cannot get in contact with me. I'm a down to earth guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Brother Mike, it's been a pleasure and an honor, to be able to have you to come and talk about just the great things that you're doing, what you're doing for the community, in the community, but then also the inspiration that you give to other brothers who are aspiring to not only do what you do, but go beyond. I've always said that it's the responsibility of every generation to make it better for the next generation. And I believe that you are one of those brothers that do that and take it. You have a passion about it. You take it seriously, and you
Yeah,
want to be able to not only do that for your family, but you want to do that for others that you encounter and others that you are around. So I appreciate you. I
I'll tell
thank you.
you. I'll tell
Yeah.
you a quick story.
Yeah.
I'm at Owens Mills High School, and I have a sunflower seed in my hand.
Okay.
I asked the children, "What do you see?" They answered it wrong. I said, "Well, y'all see a seed? I see the mustard tree." That's how I
Hmm.
think every day, and that's how an entrepreneur's got to think every day.
Right.
That's the key. You got to see the tree, and you got to keep going, and you got to keep knocking down all these big giants, and you gotta whoever feel if you feel defeated, that's a good thing because that's going to bring out the hunger for you to go out here and get out here and do it more. Most importantly, when all your money is invested and you got nothing left, the lion really roars now because you got to go out there and get it.
Yeah. 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 So absolutely, you got to go out and you got to get it. Nobody's gonna hand it to you. Nobody's gonna give it to you. as we've said, and nobody has to give it to you. Nobody is obligated to give it to you. You got to earn it. You got to work for it. It's what you have to do.
Right.
It's not a guarantee for any of us to feel that way. So, brother, I appreciate you. I thank you. You want to give your contact information one more time before we go?
Absolutely. Man, I'm on the Brothers to Greatness page with Dr. Leroy. You can call me at 443-991-1216, man. Text message me, hit me up on Facebook, Mike Norton. Go through the pages, see if you like something. I'm family oriented. One of the things I love to do on my downtime is the podcast, magazine, and speaking engagements. I feel it's time for my story to come out, and it's time to show people what I'm out here doing and people that look like me to encourage. So it can be anything outside the box, man. I'm always willing and available.
Absolutely. So this has been another episode of the Brand New Development Series with your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the impact, the impact builder. Y'all know, we will be right back here with another episode coming to you where we bring you knowledge, information, and resources that allow you to be able to teach you something, to equip you with something, and to impact you to want to do something. My goal, as I always say, is to make you better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. And I do that by bringing you gentlemen such as Brother Michael Norton III, and just other folks that will enlighten you, that will show you what it is, and the importance of being who you are, and having a plan for where it is that you want to be. So we will talk to you all soon. Have a great evening, and we will talk to you all next time.